We rolling here?
Wait.
All right, Victor.
Okay.
First of all, great set, man.
Thank you very, very much.
It's always nice. The mic, can you hear us all right? It's always nice. There seems to be a dearth, a lack of, when they talk about blues, the piano player is for so long been regulated to the sideman position. And it's great to see in the Jerry Lee Lewis tradition, which you paid homage to with Drinking Wine,
Yep.
Spody
Odie, yeah.
Thank you. One of his great cuts for the Memphis label.
That's right.
Mr. Phillips. But it's great to see a blues man out front playing keyboards. Because like we were just talking about real quick, Pine Top Perkins, who passed today.
Yep.
Great guy, but spent most of his career as a sideman.
It was about 8 generations until he finally started doing solo work. So.
Yeah.
Or fronting his own band.
Right.
He spent almost
Now,
60, 70 years doing sideman.
Did you start out as a frontman?
No, I didn't. I started out playing piano with my father and my grandfather.
In Savannah?
In Savannah, Georgia.
Which is a beautiful city.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I found some blues clubs downtown Savannah, and I went and played there. It happened to be, at the time, I don't know if you, Mr. Eric Culberson, who owns a club in downtown Savannah. I started playing piano with him a little bit, and a fellow named Sean Rounds.
And then Sean Rounds, we know Sean Rounds. He played Sugar Shack Mondays. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I started playing with him.
Oh,
in
very
Savannah.
cool.
We both lived in Savannah.
Oh, okay. That's funny because that was going to be one of my next questions if you knew Sean Rounds. Now, I remember reading in Bob Dylan's book Chronicles when he went into Memphis, Sun Studios, the first thing he did was kiss the ground. Do you remember your first memory when you walked into Sun Studios? Obviously, you're a Jerry Lee Lewis fan. Obviously, you know the history.
I do.
What was your reaction when you first walked in?
The strongest thing that hit me was actually not the genuine rock and roll so much as when I first went there and I was standing in a spot and they turned the lights down and they played Howling Wolf.
Right, which people forget that Ike Turner, right, and Howling Wolf. Before Sun was a label, it was just a studio, and Sam Phillips recorded all those guys.
So when I first heard
Victor
that,
knows his history.
Yeah, I think it captivated me the most. But of course, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, everyone that recorded with Sun, an amazing studio in Memphis, the birthplace of rock and roll and the home of the blues. So.
Other than Memphis having, and I'm gonna get maybe myself in trouble because I love New Orleans food too. But other than the cuisine, what drew you to Memphis from Savannah? Because they're both great cities. Grant a little, but what drew you to Memphis?
Actually, it's funny that you say that. I have some friends from Memphis here tonight. They're air traffic controllers. And when I left Savannah, I went to college in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay.
And in Daytona Beach, I went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. My guitar player, Greg Gumpel, and I both went there. That's where we met. I studied air traffic management. And
which is where another great blues key player grew up. Greg Allman grew up in Daytona Beach.
Right,
yeah,
that's right. There's a few down there.
Yeah.
I played a lot in Daytona while I was going to school, but I actually got the government asked me to move to Memphis to do air traffic control.
Oh, really?
So it just worked out.
Wow.
Amazingly well, because that's what drew me to Memphis was actually air traffic
control. But now you're a
control.
full-time musician.
I stopped air traffic control a few years ago and been just playing clubs, circuits.
Because, as assured as I am in your air traffic control skills, I don't know if I want a musician who's out all night, pounding the keyboard keys.
I really don't work too well together.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now tell me about you just did a great set, and what I liked about it is that you're all over the map. It's all roots music. You're not doing any, Tchaikovsky, but there's myriad styles there. What did you grow up listening to?
I grew up listening to my grandfather and my father mostly.
And they were players, keyboard players?
My grandfather was a piano player. My dad was a drummer, guitar player, and singer, as well as my grandfather. And I grew up listening to them almost exclusively. I didn't really get into the blues until I started to get into college. So I grew up listening to honky tonks, going into honky tonks and the genuine rock and roll stuff, mixed in with some blues like Jerry Reed, of course, and some of the guys that they cover.
Because I mean, you're more boogie woogie to me than you
Absolutely.
are blues.
I try to say that I'm somewhere in between all of that.
Right.
The way I play the piano is it's the only way I know how to play. I can't really tell anyone, exactly what to do or what I listen to play at that exact style, but it's somewhere between the way my grandfather played and the way Pine Top Perkin played, and Dr. John and some of the other Louisiana-based piano players.
I was going to say, you were talking about Louisiana. You mentioned Dr. John. I definitely hear some Mac Revenant in your playing, which goes back to James Booker and that whole rich tradition in New Orleans.
Memphis area, too, in Chicago.
Yeah.
You got guys like Pete Johnson and Albert Emmons and some of the real great piano players of their time, influencing everyone of that era, just boogie woogie, boogie swing, just Chicago-style blues, and then, of course, Louisiana-style blues like we were talking about with Professor Longhair and Mac Revenant.
Professor Longhair, another great one.
Yeah.
What's the key when you're on stage and you're playing keyboards? You can't stand up. You can't, strike the Mick Jagger pose, which he stole from Tina Turner, that she stole from, whoever. But you're able to electrify the audience beyond your music. What's the key to that when you're behind the keyboards? Because I remember Jerry Lee Lewis talking about, damn it, I'm not going to let Elvis and these other guys upstage me and Carl Perkins just because I'm behind the piano, and you seem to have captured that. But what's the secret?
The secret is, if there is a secret, I guess it would be that you have to play for your audience instead of at them, and really try to converse with whoever you're playing to, have a conversation with them musically, instead of just wailing on guitar, pounding on keyboard all night long, throwing music at them, letting them take it in, organizing your sets properly to where it's like you're still playing the blues, you're still having a great time, but you also think about that a little bit too, about how can I be a better entertainer instead of just up here playing
Right, and not letting that keyboard be a barrier. Because I see that you're moving and you're up and you're down, and it reminds me of the best keyboard player entertainers. They didn't let that be a boundary. It's not you playing in front of a podium. It's you, and this is your weapon of entertainment.
Okay.
Real quick, because I know for those who are local, you can be here and you can come. No cover right now. Place is packed. You got another 60-minute set, I believe,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah, a whole nother show.
Come on out. There's a whole nother 60-minute set. Let's plug what you got coming up. You got Wild Roots is your record label.
Yes, Wild Roots Records.
And
we have a new album coming out in May.
WildRoots.com.
WildRootsRecords.com.
WildRootsRecords.com.
Or just VictorWainright.com. They both reach the same place.
Plug some upcoming gigs, Victor.
In the next few days, we'll be up in the Pensacola area, Tallahassee, the Bradford Blues Club, the Paradise, the Blues Tavern in Mobile, Alabama. And then we're coming back down for Spring in the Blues Fest in Jacksonville, April 2nd. Then all the way down to Cocoa Beach. And then back towards Memphis. So we have a little bit left on the tour. We've been out since the end of February. So.
And real quick, the reason this is called Damon Fowler's Sugar Shack Mondays is he came up with this idea of bringing artists that he had worked with or that he admired who were touring through here, so that he lives right down the street. Lacey Campbell, his girlfriend, is the producer. Tell me about, I understand you guys play together close to Cocoa Beach at the Daytona?
Yeah, the Daytona Blues Festival, which was in October. There's another one coming up in October again, which everyone should go to because it's awesome. But last year, Damon, of course, played. Mike Zito played. A couple friends of mine played. And that was the first time I really got to see Damon really let loose on the stage, like where I could be right there instead of watching him over YouTube or whatever else it was, which is really cool. That's one of the nicest things about playing festivals.
On you, yeah.
Yeah. One of the nice things about playing festivals is getting to all the musicians together, the blues community together, where we could see each other play. And then the after parties, which usually is like at some club or a venue after the festival, where we got to jam and play together. And that's
which
really
I think is, as much as I hate the term blues, because I think that it pigeonholes a lot of people, but to use the term blues, what I love most about it is, like you were talking about, the after parties, the playing together, the camaraderie. That, of course there's some competition, but it seems like with artists such as yourself and Damon, that playing together is just as important as headlining doing your own show.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any competition really. I don't, playing festivals and being on the same circuit as we are, getting a chance to cross paths and to be together for a little while. We are a family and a community. There's not that many of us out there doing
especially
this,
guys like you and Damon who are in the same age group. That there's not that many people in their late 20s, early 30s who know as much about music as you and Damon. And just from interviewing you and knowing Damon for a while, so I'm sure you guys, there's that bond there.
Yeah, there absolutely is.
And this guy here, R.J. Housen, who's off screen, but he's of a similar ilk. He's a musician you have to talk with. Well, look, I'll let you get back to playing. If you're around Ace's Lounge in Bradenton, get your ass up here and check out Victor's second set. And if not, you're missing out. But come back next week for the webcast. We're going to have Davina, thank you, Lacey. She's the fact one. And the Vagabonds. That part I can get right.
They're terrific. That's awesome.
Davina and the Vagabonds, recommend them?
Yeah, absolutely. They're great.
Good. As I need to do some research on that.
Yes, you do.
Victor, hey, if you didn't catch his set before, if you can make it up here, he's crushing up here. Come
Thank you
on
very
out.
much, Wade.
Victor's great
Appreciate
seeing you
it,
live.
Hey, Victor, we have Joe from Panama City Beach and Debbie who wanted to say hey. I want to give him a shout out.
Hey, Joe, Panama. Hey, Mom and Dad.
Great set, and thanks for dealing with the long